Good morning, guys. I'm starting this trek off with a pair of 3M sunglasses, or protective goggles at the very least. I'm looking for the Mystic Spring. I think it's exactly what Ponce de Leon was looking for, or what Tuck Everlasting was based on. The fountain of youth, the eternal pools of heavenly water, plus the bootlegger's treasure that is somewhere hidden in this region's forest. But I see that loud and clear. Broken off perfectly to make that X into the corridor. There's some Native American mounds, settlements along this river region. Translates to sweet water. A really cool canopy of trees. Really seems like a gateway. Perfectly balanced. Got some leaners as well. It's like a fortress, all of them laid upon there. Perfect Ewok village. Wow. This looks like a Gatorade bottle. Wow, those are amazing. Definitely sounds like something's in the woods. Wonder if that's hooch or high or what. Oh, that's a cool one. Plant is growing in that one. I plan to explore all of these woods, all of these corridors, looking for the bootleggers' camp. Sadly, it looks like some modern visitors have been here too. I know that drug smugglers used to use this route because it's off of the road. Open up your third eye, your pineal gland. Lots of dogs barking in the distance. Perfect for food for the skunk ape. I'm looking for large piles of them. This is a cool one. Seems like this place has been marked. A fire has been kept right here. A tire that's halfway burned. Bottom glass. Daniel Lundy. Can't wait to give you a bunch of broken glass so you can make it into arrowheads. Perfect little marker from the river at the Big Bend. And there are hidden springs and islands and caverns all throughout here. This is definitely a magical spot. I see some boot prints, but no bare footprints as of yet. There is deer tracks. And we know what love to chase and hunt hog and deer. Sometimes this just happens. Other times it's placed like that to tell you to go no further. I'm hearing strange dog cries from down the river. Here's a nice impression. Heel to the foot. Even looks like a little toe right there. There's poop right there. And definitely some more markings. Whoa. This looks like a bear footprint. Toes. Yeah, the footprint and everything. I'm gonna mark this spot. There's one right here. Couldn't have stepped far, it has to be in that area. Kind of see little toe impressions right there too. Very interesting. There is a possibility that maybe it's a combination of a raccoon print and some other impression, but it looks like there's a bear footprint. Right past one of the markers. This is Juvenile River, famous for skunk ape legends and sightings. It leads into the Dead Lakes, which has giant alligators, even some bull shark. Cobra Gator, the movie, was filmed along this river, and so was Sharkansaw's Woman's Prison Massacre. We're not far from Ocheesee Pond, where the Ocheesee Pond wild man was captured in the 1800s and kept at the Chattahoochee Hospital for 3 years until he passed away. There's a cool upside down Y put in the middle of those trees. There's forest language in every direction. There's a lot going on underneath our feet that we know. I'm hearing a lot of strange sounds, but it could be the wind playing tricks with me. This is floating and caught on that branch. Truly mystical. Ow. I just got pricked by something. I just hope it's not inside my pants. This is a magical tree right here. Would love to see some giant bear footprints right there. This is a perfect mud pit to investigate. I'm just seeing raccoon. Oh, and then look at these. That's a big cat. Looks like a bobcat. That is cool. That is cool. If I can cast those, I will. I remember it's that first mud pit. We're gonna have to hustle back when it's time. Look at this floater. This is the floating forest. Look at that. That's amazing. Caught up right in that wedge. What a magical place back here. I'm sure the fairies and gremlins run wild. I see a lot of raccoon traffic down there on the beach sand. Just heard a weird noise in the distance. I go, whoa. Huh. That's pretty interesting. Right foot, big toe. Deer came through too. Oh, then he went through there. That is awesome. Okay, definitely just heard a voice back there, echoing, yelling. Here's the mud pit. I don't want to mess up the bobcat tracks. Ooh, here's small ones. And then there is a bigger one. Now that is cool. So I'm gonna meander back to get the casting supplies and hustle back, especially for that bear footprint. There's been tons of fossils and ancient artifacts that have been pulled out of this river. So right here is my marking. So I'm gonna stay off the trail. Here's a little pit. Maybe I'll explore over there when the cast is hardening. Keeping my eyes and ears peeled back here for Sasquatch, Pukwudgie, the headless ghost of Look and Tremble, and other forest deities. Also gotta keep your eyes peeled for alligator, giant boar, feral man, feral dog, a dirty feather. And all the other venomous creatures out here. Pygmy rattlesnake, eastern diamondback, canebrake, cottonmouth, copperhead, you can see that buzzard up in the air, circling. It's got his eyes on something. I hope it's not me. That wind is ripping. Good time to be underneath, seeking everything out. Looks like a Y. A Y with an underneath. There's an old pit. Let's do some climbing. Oh yeah. Very cool terrain. there it is, still overlooking the river. Very cool, very cool. Oh man, oh, my bad, buddy. Even though that actually helped get some dirt out of it. Very cool. The rest of the bones are right over here, laid and scattered through. Pretty crazy stuff. We're gonna take this and honor it and use it. Actually, I'm gonna take it back. I am not risking it. I want to honor it. I don't want to pay it any disrespect. I feel like he enjoyed his view over there, actually. And just the thoughts that went through my head, it's just not worth it. So we'll take our buddy back. Give him back his awesome view of the river. Sorry for disturbing you, but hopefully you can see a little better with that dirt out of your eye. I think that's a wise decision. Military planes are flying above head. Wow. Perfect time to be doing some skunk ape research. We're heading to the location. I got casting supplies, something to mix it in. Hopefully come back with some hardware. I've already found a couple new bootlegger stashes and corridors to explore. This area is abundant in forest language and other mysterious anomalies. A lot of floaters, a lot of dugouts, even some man-made markings that just make you go, huh? So we're mixing some plaster of Paris for this little footprint that is sitting here, and it's so cool because it's next to this pile of dong right here, and then there's this bare footprint. See the toes and the heel. It's very cute and cool. Now we're gonna cast it. And you just always gotta have some casting supplies ready in the car, just in case. But keep your eyes peeled. And I found some bobcat footprints down the trail too, so I'm gonna try to make a good amount to mix up and mix in. This is what it's all about. Get really nice and gunky. Slowly. Mix it in. It's the perfect texture. Wow, now that is cool. So we got the perfect placement right there, and we're gonna let it harden up for the next 25 minutes. It's really cool. Can't wait to see the definition that we can hold in our hand. Plaster in Paris. Now let's go do some bobcat tracks. So we found these cool bobcat tracks, and I was looking around and I found a little bit bigger ones right there. I just want to, you know, practice more casting, so why not take advantage of the situation. So I'm gonna add some more mix in there. Some more water. And then we're gonna get to mixing. It's like making pancakes. really cool. Trying to see if there's any other tracks over here. But as you can see, we're gonna have some interesting little casts here. So we're just gonna explore while they harden. On the path of the Mystic Spring, which I've heard so much about. And it's only right that we leave a small offering for such a successful and wild adventure. Here are some feces, guys. Keep your eyes peeled for something that is eating hairy animals. Where there are deer, where there are boar, there are skunk ape. The rod bender is not far from here. There have been dogman sightings and encounters less than 10 minutes of here. And also the skunk ape of Terea, of Eden, of Yo Cheesy Pond. Just heard some weird thumping from over there. There's said to be circular burial mounds over in this direction. And also hidden treasure. But when you can find mushrooms and berries, treasure has a loose definition. Gotta check all the mud pits. Huh, that's weird. Heard like a hissing. Could have been the wind in the trees. Could have been something much weirder. Here's a strange circle. Kind of reminds me of Pet Cemetery. More thumping. Could be machinery, could be gunshots in the distance. Or something else. Here's a nice little flooded area. Oh, and the birds. A yellow bird. This would be a perfect place to find some footprints creeping up to here. This little water hole really calls out to me. This will be the location that I leave the lima beans. Dave Sheely talked about how these skunk ape creatures love lima beans and other type of things that you wouldn't really expect. Chris Connor mentioned that they like fruit, but we're going straight to the swamp, to the Everglades. Lima beans. They're said to love eating the lima beans, and they get really, really gassy after it. So I think it's gonna be a fun experiment to come back to this water hole and see if they're still here. Maybe we could get some foot traffic. It's a perfect little spot. Shout out Dave. He got some awesome skunk ape footage at the Millennium, and also opened Skunk Ape headquarters down in Ochapee in the Everglades. He's took Marie and Tim out on a private tour, and also Matt Williamson from Squatchin' South Florida, and also Nana Boss on a private tour. So I hope these lima beans right by this water pit have success. The skunk ape of the Panhandle is a little different than south of Mayaca, but it's about the correlations and the connections. So we are gonna see if the lima beans are a good bait for the Sasquatch. And we are always here in the name of the great Creator, representing the one who died for us all. We are just the little naked people. What a magical afternoon. We were just talking about the Seattle Supersonics on Gypsy Road Live. Breaking news. Chopping it up with Bigfoot Michigan Rob and Tex, Long Island Bigfoot, Flat Rock Booger, Daniel Lundy. It's awesome. Bouncing ideas off of each other. Being inspired by Diesel, Colorado Bigfoot, Brandon, Bronzoni, Small Town Monsters, hustling and bustling. Just love to see it. Really excited to release the Skunk Ape documentary with Squatch in South Florida of our crazy weekend in Lakeland in the Green Swamp. It's revolutionary. Hopefully the casts are getting harder. Can't wait to take them home with me. Inspect them. To have a bare footprint all the way out here where there's poisonous snakes, sharp plants, briars, ticks, everything. It rips my boots apart. Imagine what it would do to a young child's foot. I can see a hunter maybe, letting his kid down. But why would his kid be with him hunting? It's all good questions of Mystic Spring. Is it the Mystic Spring Maniac? The Mankey? The man? Or is it something much stranger, like an elf or a fairy? Or deer man, or goat man, spicy deer, not deer. What's crazy is it was right after this barrier. It's kind of telling you not to go here. There's multiple gates that are locked, so there hasn't been much driving back here in the last while. But the factors, frequency out there is truly magical. These are smaller casts, so they should not take as long as the other bear footprints that we've done. Let's get in there. It's definitely getting there. Try to smooth it out so it's not as jagged. There you go. Now it's got my footprint, my fingerprint in the footprint. Let's go check out these other ones of the bobcat. They were a lot less plaster. I think that's my footprint, but that'd be a good spot to climb over. They're still hardening, so why not add our signature to it? Very cool, very cool. Let's head into the forest. Interesting little hole right there. An eye and a huge pit. Give that to Daniel Lundy. This is a post. That's an old post. So some of these things are being brought into this location. There's clearly a sitting area. Then disturbance right here. Whatever's leaving that footprint is running around wild through here. All very interesting stuff. See if we can get a soft response. Whoop! As we know, they always are creative with how they reach out to us. Pretty interesting. Love seeing all the upside down Ys and other ones facing. A cool nest in a tree up there. They do say there's a correlation between flying squirrels and the hairy man. Donnie Miller's encounter with the caveman didn't happen too far from here. Kevin Saunders down the Apalachicola National Forest had telepathy and a sighting with 3 Sasquatch family members. And it's all a stone's throw from here when we're talking about the ancient ones. This is definitely just a strange place. You could feel the vibe in the air. The coyotes in the distance, the buzzards in the air. The environment is right. This is the apex. This is the sanctuary. The narrows to the construct. I'm out here wondering if any of these structures have electricity flowing from them. And I'm sure they do. It's like all living things. We have the dimethyltryptamine, the spirit molecule flowing inside. And even in these forbidden forests, we can learn. Seems to be pretty chill out here right now. But you honestly never know what lurks around the corner or across the river or even in the depths of the water. There's some scary Goliath beasts that have been seen in these Florida swamps. The Dead Lakes is known for its monstrous creatures. These are my bobcat casts that I'm waiting on. And then we have a bear footprint further up the forest trail. I'm gonna leave a few more gifts here, because this spot definitely has a sacred vibe to it. There's prickers protecting it and steep banks shaping it. So as silly as it sounds, we are going to leave the hairy man a hamburger. See if is interested. There is a little piece missing already, but we're not thinking it's gonna just take a bite. I'm thinking it's gonna be long gone. It's all about trying different variables to see what works and what doesn't. Right here in this area seems to have a lot of X's, a lot of A's, and a lot of Y's. So I don't know if the Sasquatch is leaving these markers, or maybe it is the forest gypsies and the wild people, the Ewoks, the Pukwudgies. But this hillside definitely has a special vibe to it. You can see things being perched up and taking cover from atop. And you can see there's been wood that's been brought in and tore up. Beautiful. Again, we're feeling the special vibes here. So I think this is a special place to leave some satsumas and cannabis. Seedless oranges and cannabis shake and stems. Very beneficial for your immune system and also your mental state. There is an X right up there that definitely marks the spot. And I can't wait to come back and see if the cannabis, ganja, and satsumas, seedless oranges, are still here, which we are near the satsuma capital of the world. It has to hit a certain cold to get sweet. They tried growing them down in South Florida, but it just didn't work. So right here is the perfect location. It seems like something's been bedding right here atop of the mound, and you can perfectly see the trail. And during the summer, when this is a lot more full, imagine that. But look at this perfect X. Woven in, even some feces marked on top of it, so the energy has even called to the animals. There's a floater right there. Let's truly remarkable. And whatever apex predator can survive off of just eating different fungus back here in the swamp. I do see some beer cans, so the hunters have been on this mark too. We are on the trail, guys. The trail of something big, something sacred. This right here could be a giant mound because the natives have perched right along the Sweetwater River. I feel honored just to see the river from atop a height like this one. It was either 2 knocks or 2 gunshots far in the distance. This is what it's all about, guys. That's why I came down from Ohio, lived out in my car across America, slept under bridges, 24-hour gas stations, Walmart. I was vulnerable. I fought. But this is what it's for. Reaching new heights, battling hard lows. But when you can slow down and come back to reality, really cherish your journey. It's special. Definitely interact with my posts, show some love. Feel free to donate to the PayPal, check out my books on Amazon. Make some friends in this community. It lives in so many directions. It's special. It's about 10 more minutes and they'll be rock solid. There's definitely a lot going on back here, and you can see where the foot traffic and even feces are, where they've busted the wood, trampling through, even where the termites have just eaten this thing alive. And you know what eats termites? Of course, the skunk ape. Another little nesting spot. You can tell something's been sitting there, perched up, probably scanning this open field. Would be a good place for a hunter armed with teeth or knives. Ooh. Just got pricked real bad. Not sure what this is inside. It might just be gunk. Yeah, I think it's just gunk. At first I thought it was a turtle or something inside there, and I was like, oh man, that's something special. But it wasn't. Really cool hole right there. That's a cool triangle. Look at all the buzzards in the sky. Got 3 of them. Wonder if they're watching me or watching something watch me. Right by this hole, I'm gonna leave some cat food in the can, and we can see if something opens it up and discards of it. They're said to like kitty litter, so I have to have some love for cat food. There it is, on that stump overlooking the hole. I think it's a perfect little gifting area off the beaten path. There's another indention in the ground right there too. That's a perfect little spot for a fairy to hide. All right, see how these casts are doing. There we go. Still give it some time. They seem a little soft still. Let's take a closer look at the cast I made yesterday. This one's awesome. It's a small little bobcat cast. And this one has 2 little footprints. But my favorite one is this bare foot. As you can see, the heel, and it angles that way, and the toes curl right there. It is really small, a toddler or an infant's foot deep in the Florida swamp.
The flesh of the unguided and non-believers fuel this void.